My name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today's topic is sacred temple. You live in the sacred temple of a two-legged. There are Buddhists that will say a human birth is like a divine birth. It's a divine blessing. It's like the highest exalted blessing to be given the gift of getting to be a human, to use your cognitive, emotive, free will, choice, functioning, and awareness. That's a divine birth. And with this choice, what are you doing? So there is a component. I was about to Mr. Rogers my shoes off. Let's put a sweater on, everybody. They're just focus up and do the video. I think a lot about my temple. It's carrying me around, and I think about all the things it does for me, all the ways that my heart beats every day. My brain, my neural network is wired and firing to serve me. My organs are functioning for me, and they don't ask anything of me. So I like to do a fast or a cleanse. I recommend doing them every season, and they're different types. You can do the master cleanse, which is the lemon, cayenne, maple syrup cleanse. You can do a kitchery cleanse. Kitchery is delicious. I've been on several kitchery cleanses this summer because it's delicious. It's cooked with ghee and beautiful spices, and I could literally eat it every day until I die. It's so good. But there are many different ways you can do a juice cleanse of, whatever. You can just take a break from eating and just consume water for a couple days. These cleanses that we can do, these fasts, these dietas that purify the system are beneficial because they give our sacred organs that do so much for us a break. They give them rest, and give them a chance, and give our bodies a chance to flush out anything that we no longer want. We have a digestive tract that's quite elongated. Carnivores typically have a very short they're like short intestines, and long intestines is actually much shorter than the human intestinal system. And that's because meat will ferment if it spends too long in the bowel. And so if you consume meat, you can get that fermented meat that fermented in the bowel impacted along the colon. And so when you do a cleanse, you actually pull out and purify all of that unwanted. And you might think gross, but it's life. And so let's talk about all the things. It's fine. That's okay. Put your snack down, eat it later. Let's talk about this. So doing a cleanse is really powerful. And I like to really hold awareness. What is the value of this cleanse? What is the purpose? Why am I doing this? I love to walk in other people's shoes. And there are lifetimes I've had where I've nearly starved to death. I've received a ton of Akashic Records readings of past lives. But in this life, that hasn't happened. I've never almost starved to death in this life. So I like to be mindful of those lifetimes where I'm starving. I like to be mindful of all those that have starved. I like to be mindful of those that have faced the egregious crime of a concentration camp, or Buddhist monks that might beg for alms, or people that are experiencing food without as much diversity and option and choices and opportunity as we typically have in our daily lives. And I like to really simplify. So I went on a cleanse to go work with plant medicines. And then when I came back, I was like, actually, I'm going to double down. I'm going to do that again. And I did it again. And so I just went to kitchery, and I was doing fresh fruit and vegetable juices and fresh fruits or vegetables, and like some hummus and stuff. But other than that, that's all I was having. I wasn't doing chips. I wasn't doing bread. I wasn't doing anything else. And I feel great. What happens when we do a cleanse? What happens when we do a detox? Not only do we give our organs a break, beautiful friends of ours, thank you so much. We also, every time you do a cleanse, you cleanse your thoughts, you cleanse your feelings, you cleanse your mental and emotional constructs as well. It's just a natural result of detoxifying. It detoxifies you on all these levels. So it's a grand purifier. And so I like to give myself a break. And if you hold that intent and choose to do that, you can choose to journal. You can talk about your intention. You can process thoughts and feelings. This is what we call shadow integration. Shadow integration is where you've had dark, shadowy, false evidence appearing real, fear-based, challenging, traumatic experiences. And because we are eternal and we have free will, all experiences are a gift, but it's easy to forget that while we're playing like eternality is not a thing. And we can forget that those trials and tribulations offer us something. They offer a learning and understanding, or a content quality of forgiveness, compassion. We develop the soul, develop the self through our challenges. But often we don't take time to do that integration of our shadow experiences. And when you do a cleanse, it's a beautiful time to like really consider, wow, what is it I need to process or assimilate or think about? So that's a great, one sacred temple aspect is just honoring your temple and giving it a break. There's another component that I find that is quite valuable, which is just getting really honest with the self. I know many beautiful souls and very honest people, and still, even in their own honesty and amazingness, they can be a little not as abundantly clear about what they're doing with their diet. They'll say like, oh, I eat really organic, really healthy all the time. But actually every night they eat 600 calories of chocolate and chips. It's like, well, that's not healthy and organic. And certainly not healthy and organic on a daily basis. It's not wrong. It doesn't make you bad. It doesn't mean you need to judge yourself and attack yourself. Bashar, one of my many favorite channels, Bashar is an entity named Daryl Anka that channels an alien named Bashar. You can find him on YouTube. But he says like, cake wouldn't cause you to be fat. It's like the guilt and the shame and all these terrible feelings that are crystallizations in the system that cause a lot of what we eat to do a disservice to our temple. So consciousness is a really precious component of what we eat and consume. The quality of our mind about what it is we're eating in the paradigm. What I can say is that there is a piece of just getting honest. Okay, one of the ways you can get honest is you can get MyFitnessPal. It's an app that's totally free. Is it a pain? Yeah, but like, do you value your body and your temple? Like, what are you doing for self-love, self-care, self-respect this day? So it's not that big of a deal. It has barcode scanners. You can literally scan everything you eat and it will tell you your caloric intake. You can put in input that will tell you how many calories you should have in a day. This is how we can get honest about what I've learned from working with MyFitnessPal is that at night, I can consume 400 to 600 calories in the last 2 hours before I go to bed. What that's taught me is I either need to go to bed earlier, and there are herbal remedies and ways that I can serve myself to go to bed earlier, and I tend to be more motivated in the morning, so that does a service on a couple of levels. But I can also, I take Triphala now at night. I start drinking it an hour before bed. You can drink Triphala half an hour to an hour before bed, have a nice healthy bowel movement in the morning. It's tridoshic, all three doshas. If you follow Ayurveda, it's good for all body types, all people. And it's really detoxifying and really purifying. So it detoxifies your organs, but also it has a bitter kind of herbally taste. It's filling because of the water. Water will fill you up. So I'm less inclined to snack because I'm just like sipping this herbally fibrous tea that kind of fills my belly. And so getting honest and clear with myself about what I'm doing has helped me to get clear about what new choices I need to make in order to honor my temple. Another piece of sacred temple and how we practice sacred temple, this is a universal major learning for Heather Feather, is we take small pivots up the stairwell to the top of the mountain. The shaman I apprenticed with, Lightwalker, when I first started apprenticing with him, he would say, Heather, you don't want to jump from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain. You seem to think you want to, but you're going to miss the journey. What I recommend is that you take a few steps, stop, look around. Whoo, what's improved? Okay, does anything else need to change? Okay, let me take a few steps in that direction. Ooh, how are things now? Wow, what a gift. Look at me headed up this mountain. And it's a really great wisdom he offered me there. So the next piece I would say of honoring your sacred temple, once you get clear around what changes are needed, and those are going to be different for every person. The reason people struggle with getting their physical vessel where they want it to be is because we all are in a different place in our lives and we need different things. Some of you have an undiagnosed food allergen. Well, the way you do that is most common allergens are wheat, gluten, dairy, peanuts. You get off of the food allergen foods and you eat a pure, clean diet, and you do that for like a month, and then introduce one of those foods. Eat a bunch of toast. See how you do. If you're not irritated, you don't have a gluten allergen, then do it again. Then drink several glasses of milk. You you can actually test yourself to see if you have food allergens. But aside from like, any adjustments you might need to make to your personal diet, each person has a unique biochemistry. Each person has a unique thing that would be their pivot. My current pivot is to step back into my nightly exercise regimen. I was doing it 7 days a week. I'm going to switch probably to 3 or 4 days a week because I'm a little overly disciplined sometimes. So now my goal is to get in rhythm of having 3 or 4 nights a week that I do the fitness program that I took from my friend Camilla this past summer, and stepping into 10 to 20 minutes every morning of qigong or yoga. I watch Birdie Yoga or Yoga with Bird, and I watch Yoqi, YOQI, on YouTube, and I just do like 10 to 20 minute videos to start my day, to get the body moving, to get my digestive fire going, to get myself aligned, to make sure that I'm stretching this body that will one day be 87 trying to tie these shoes as opposed to 47, preparing for my future. So another piece, once you're clear about where you are and what needs to shift, is to see what small steps you can take in the direction of where you want to head. I don't recommend, if you've been doing no exercise, and I never will, that you need to do P90X, you need to join a CrossFit gym, and you need to work out 5 days a week. I feel like Westerners are so intense, and that's why they fail. It's why they stumble, is they go from like no activity to extreme activity, and it's overwhelming to the system, and it's not actually healthy. Like, we are much more than just the physical body. You're going to rot off the bone or turn to ash one day anyhow. It does serve to, the quality of how you treat your temple is the quality of life you'll have when you're elderly, if you're blessed to live a long life. And that is something to consider. I think often, about being elderly. I've always wanted to be an old lady since I was a kid. But I think about it, and I watch elderly people a lot, and I think about that their bodies move different. They move way slower than I do. And am I going to be able to tie my shoes? Not if I don't stretch. So if you are doing no movement, no exercise right now, if you have a sedentary lifestyle, if the pandemic has been overwhelming to you, whatever the storyline is around where you are with your movement, if your movement is none, then I'm going to recommend you stretch 5 to 10 minutes, 3 days a week. That's it. I do this with my clients all the time. 5 to 10 minutes, 3 days a week. That's it. You just want to get yourself in a rhythm of some kind of movement that honors your temple getting acclimated to having this movement that will ultimately serve your end goal. And once you're doing 5 to 10 minutes, then you can, now I'm going to do a 10-minute video online on YouTube. I'm going to stretch with some yoga instructor. I'm going to do Tai Chi. You don't even have to do intensive exercise. Just get your body moving. It will help circulation. It will help your organs. It will help health on many levels. It'll help your awareness to see that I'm self-respecting. I'm keeping my word to myself. I'm honoring myself by doing the thing. And then that makes you more motivated, inspired to do the thing in another way. Not just exercise though, also with the diet. It's if you're currently vaping all the time, drinking monster drinks, eating fast food all the time, I'm not going to say, and my dad was an organic farmer and I eat organic food. There are rare times I get conventional because it's what is available. But if organic is available, Heather's paying the money for organic because I don't want to eat poison, which is what spraying crops with pesticide that they then pull nutrients from the soil and then it goes into the meat of the fruit of the vegetable. I don't eat poison, so I don't want to feed myself poison. But if you're not doing any of that, if you're not buying organic already and you're eating fast food all the time and you find it really difficult to cook a meal, then my recommendation and my coaching around honoring your sacred temple would be, can you cook 1 meal per week just with healthy ingredients? Can you find one recipe in each week, honor your temple by cooking 1 healthy meal? Or can you make a little bit better choice? Instead of choosing Taco Bell, can you find a place that can offer you tacos that have greater nutrition? Because that has 0 nutrition, Not even do their tomatoes or lettuce have nutrition because it's pesticide rich and it's not cultivated in healthy soil. So can you make a little shift? What is your little shift to honor your sacred temple of a 2-legged that carries you through Earth School with every single breath? You can always subscribe to Rare Bird Medicine on YouTube, like and comment there. I would love to hear your thoughts. Blessed be.